Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Littleroot Lettering. So, if you haven't checked out the last couple episodes, make sure you go and do that. We're going to have a playlist down in the show notes as always. So, this should be the last episode with Slacking's Intimidate Cycling team. Like I mentioned in the first couple episodes, I plan on playing each team for about 3 episodes. That lets me have a variety of teams that I can actually cycle through. So, really excited to keep playing, and let's just jump right in today. So, we have made it into Pokeball, which is cool. So, we're going to get beat up. We're going to get beat up hard. So we have Lapras, Togekiss, Whimsicott, Incineroar, Dragapult, and Cobalion. I think we want Meowstic, Incineroar up front. And I want Luxray plus Conk in the back. Conk leaves us a little weak to the Togekiss, like as our sweeper of choice. But I think we have everything else really covered. Like, we don't really have a good answer to the Dragapult either, outside of Incineroar, but this should be fine. Like, we don't have redirection, so unfortunately they are just gonna get to beat us up, but we're gonna neuter this Cobalion before it does this thing. I mean, we're actually gonna put it neutral on turn 1. Like, they can beat it up, but I don't care. The big problem is it's still gonna hurt. So do we try to beat up the beat up? Or do we try to just stall it out? Because unfortunately, we can intimidate them a ton, but it doesn't get us anywhere when they can just continuously go +4. So we are going to see Togekiss Lapras as a lead. Not at all what I anticipated. Not at all what I anticipated. Interesting. So we're going to go for a light screen here. And we're going to fake out the Togekiss, I guess. Could be a Max Geyser coming in, and I don't like that. And unfortunately, we're most likely speed tied with them. So maybe it's correct to just go into Luxray here. Yeah, we'll hard switch into the Luxray. I don't think faking out there does anything like to progress our game plan. So I just want to, like, we need to stall out their Dynamax turns that are coming here. I'm assuming this is Lapras. Because if so, then they're going to get screens up. We're going to have screens up. Yeah, okay. So how do we deal with the Dynamax Lapras? Not very well. So are we Crit Kiss? Well, so far we're not. Okay. And they also didn't go for Follow Me there. So I think this turn, we're going to go for a Yawn into the... Actually, Yawn probably is not correct because they could be carrying Thunder, like Thunder or Thunderbolt. So maybe we go for a Thunder Wave into it. And we just start clicking Snarl. I could also Eerie Impulse, but I think Snarl plays around Follow Me, and I think that's actually what we want. I'm going to draw the Togekiss. Bringing in their own Incineroar. Well, Luckily, that doesn't really do anything against us. Gonna get our Thunder Wave off into that Lapras. Gonna get our Snarl off. Not gonna do anything to either of them. But the important thing is we get the special attack drop on the Lapras. So I think without them having the redirection now, we can just reasonably go for an Eerie Impulse into the Lapras. Yeah, Luxray's gonna live that like a champ. So I think here I want to go into... They're probably just going to fake out the Meowstic. I think I'm going to skill swap the Luxray this turn and go for an Eerie Impulse into the Lapras. Because if they fake us out, then like we're going down. But I would rather them double into the Meowstic to take it out than to switch into Incineroar and get taken out. So we're going to see that fake out into the Luxray. Okay. So we are going to get our skill swap off. We are going to get an Intimidate off, which is going to lower that Incineroar's attack. And they are going to get another Resonance off into the Meowstic, which we live. Not going to lie, I actually didn't anticipate that, but perks of having Snarl. So now I'm going to yawn the Incineroar slot. And I think I'm going to Volt Switch the Incineroar. Like, we effectively have stalled out the Lapras's Dynamax. And what's really important here is, like, they didn't bring Beat Up, and Beat Up is what I was most scared of. So, I think we're in a pretty decent position here, all things considered. Volt Switch gonna do okay damage. I could just bring out Conk. Conk seems fine. Conk seems great, actually. Like, it doesn't matter what they really do here. Like, if the Incineroar stays in, they're going to sleep. Parting Shot into that slot's kind of bad for Conk, but... So are we going to see a Togekiss come in here? We do, in fact, see a Togekiss come in here. Thunder into the Meowstic. Probably going down this turn. Oh! Alright, so now we get to yawn one more time. I think now it's correct to switch back into Luxray, because I'm anticipating an Air Slash into that slot. And like, I want Conk to be as healthy as possible going into the late game. Unfortunately, we have shown them Conk, so they know that that's going to be how we try to beat them up. Gonna get those Intimidates off one more time, but again, doesn't really do anything in the face of Togekiss Lapras. We're gonna see the Lapras withdraw, sending in the Dragapult. Okay. I think this is actually fine for us. I forgot Meowstic doesn't have Prankster. I'm like, why didn't we move? And our light screen is off now. That's actually kind of bad for us. So we're going to bring out Incin, because I think Incineroar is the best way to deal with this. Dragapult now. Yeah, you take that attack drop. I'm gonna fake out into the Togekiss. And like Snarl doesn't do anything here other than like just irritate the Togekiss. Maybe that's enough, but it doesn't seem to be Crit Kiss. But what if it's Policy Dragapult? And that's really bad for us. Yeah, we'll go for a Snarl. Like, the Snarl's not going to get the attack drop, the stat drop on the Dragapult. Is this back into Lapras, or is this into Incineroar? Into Lapras, okay. Well, Lapras isn't going to like this Snarl, so that's good. Don't need to do a ton of damage, I just need that special attack drop. That's all I care about. And the rain is over now, too. Let's Flare Blitz into the... So if we Flare Blitz into the Togekiss, like I think our play now is to just start trying to pick up some KOs. So we can Eerie Impulse into... I think we're just going to keep clicking Snarl. I think until we get rid of the Togekiss, there's no reason to bring in the Conch. Okay, so their own Incineroar is kind of annoying here. As long as the Incineroar is out when we bring out Conch, though, I feel fine. So now the Lapras is at -2. Yeah, take this Flare Blitz. It's not going to do much, but it does literal nothing. Cool. And Hydro Pump into the Incineroar. That's going to do not enough to do anything. Maybe we Dynamax here. Like, I am anticipating a... So the big question is, like, what is... I think I'm going to Parting Shot into the Incineroar. And I'm going to Volt Switch off of the Lapras. And, like, whatever they don't fake out is getting switched into Conch. Okay. I think this is fine. I think now we can bring in Conch. And probably switch out the Conkeldurr for... Conch just avoiding that Hydro Pump like it's no big deal. But we can switch back into the... I forgot they had Aurora Veil up. Now I can just actually go for a Mach Punch into this slot. Actually, they could switch into Dragapult, which Conch doesn't like. I actually think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to switch out into Dragapult, so I want to switch into the Incineroar. And I think I want to Volt Switch into the Lapras, because what this is going to do is we're going to end up with Conkeldurr and Incineroar on the field then. So they are going to withdraw the Incineroar, bringing in, it looks like Dragapult. Oh, bringing in the Togekiss. Interesting. This has been a really interesting game. This has been a really, really interesting game, and I feel like we're not getting absolutely anywhere. Alright, Volt Switch actually does pretty decent damage there. So now we're going to go into Conch one more time. I'm going to go for Perish Song. Okay. I mean, I don't think that really does anything. So I can predict the switch this turn into Dragapult, which if I do that, I'm going to go here and go for the Mach Punch into the Lapras. I'm going to see the Follow Me. Okay. Which we actually hadn't seen up to this point. So unfortunately the Mach Punch is going to go there. Not really going to do anything. Darkest Lariat also not really going to do anything. Alright. So now this turn we need to switch. And then next turn we need to switch. Actually, we can just go for a Parting Shot this turn into the Togekiss, and we can switch into the Luxray this turn. So unfortunately, like, this game could go to time, and we are currently down a Mon. So, like, that is something to consider. Because this game has gone incredibly long. And, like, we still have our Dynamax, too. Conk gonna take that like a champ. Gonna get a little bit of recovery. Alright, so they are switching out this turn. The question is which slot is becoming... Which slot is Dragapult? That's the question. I think we Drain Punch... Like... like, we're gonna Drain Punch this slot. And we're gonna... I guess hit Snarl. So, like, they are switching into Dragapult. We know one of them is. Hopefully we predict correctly and they're just gonna let us get a double KO? That doesn't seem correct. That didn't seem correct at all. Yeah, I don't understand that play at all. Because now we went from being really far behind to potentially winning this game. Well, I feel good. I feel good about our life choices. I don't understand that at all. I really just don't understand what they are going for. So now here we can go for Dynamax, Max Knuckle into the Incineroar, and we can protect. Because, you know, they're going to go for Fake Out, and it doesn't really matter because we're going to... Both of our Mons are going to be immune to the flinch. Man, this game has been really incredibly long. Like, that's something about this team is some of the games are just absolutely incredibly long. But, like, all of them are really, really good. We still have 3 minutes of this battle left. That's insane. That's just insane to me. I feel like we've been playing this same game for like 20 minutes. So we are going to get that Protect up. The big question is, where is this Fake Out going? Because it doesn't... Oh, we're going to go for Ally Switch. That's annoying. That's really annoying. That's really annoying. So now, I'm just going to click Max Lightning into that slot. And I think I'm going to Volt Switch off of the Incineroar slot. Not enough for the KO, and that's the important part. Volt Switch is going to do pretty significant damage in all actuality. So we're going to bring out Incineroar, who still has his berry. And we're going to get the Intimidate onto the Incineroar as well, which is pretty decent, especially if they're going for another Flare Blitz into the Conch, which they are. And we're going to get their berry. Alright. I forgot Conkeldurr still had to move. Yeah, so we're just going to let the timer run down here so we can get the win. I don't think we're in a winning position at this point. Because we could Max Knuckle down the Incineroar. But, like, again, we just get played by Ally Switch. And that's the perks of playing Ally Switch, is because it can just win you a game. And, like, that's essentially what it did here for our opponent. Like, had we got the Max Knuckle into the Incineroar, I don't think we would be losing this game. But I think because of the Ally Switch, like, we just lost a turn of our Dynamax, which is really, really critical here, because, like, we lost a turn of our Dynamax, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, okay. I'm like, the match timer says it's done, but the move timer is still going. So this is one of the perks of playing Ally Switch, just because, like, it just negated a turn of our Dynamax there. And had our opponent actually switched on the Parasong, we would have lost that game. Like, I don't think we would have at all won that game. I think our only answer to the Dragapult is Snarl off of the Luxray, which, like, isn't going to do anything. And because they are Clear Body, our Intimidate doesn't do anything to it either. So our Assault Vest doesn't do anything because they're physical. Our Intimidates don't do anything because they're Clear Body. So, like, we don't have a way of answering the Dragapult at all. So because they clicked Ally Switch exactly that one turn, they made it where Dragapult was, like, they made it where it was a 2v3, and we weren't going to be able to win that 2v3. Whereas, had they not clicked Ally Switch that turn, then it would have been a 1v3, which I think we could have won. So that's one of the big perks of playing Ally Switch, is when your opponent doesn't anticipate it, it can just win you the game. Because, like, single-handedly, we would have lost that game had it not been for the timer. So I understand that a lot of people don't like Ally Switch, and I completely understand. But at the same time, it definitely has its benefits of when it is good. And I'm glad I can actually showcase what I mean by that, in specifically that game. So, going into the next game here, we have Tyranitar, Excadrill, Duraludon, Incineroar, Dragapult, and Togekiss. So, outside of the Dragapult and the Togekiss, and the Duraludon, so basically the Sand Core intimidates really good against here. Lapras, the Gyarados doesn't have a dark move, correct? No, we have Iron Head in our last slot. Let's say if we had a... Iron Head is actually really good at dealing with the Togekiss. So maybe we lead Incineroar, Gyarados. And then we have Conch plus Lapras in the back. I like that. I like that a lot. So what does our opponent lead here? Duraludon Tyranitar. Hot take, the Duraludon shiny is awful. I don't even think that's a hot take, I just think that's the honest truth. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me. It doesn't do anything. It just looks the exact same. So notably, the Tyranitar is faster than our Incineroar. So I like going for... So we can go for a max airstream, which doesn't really do anything. So maybe we just max Geyser down the Tyranitar and switch into Conkeldurr here. Like, Conkeldurr isn't really threatened by either of their things. They're going to withdraw the Tyranitar. Going to go into Togekiss. I really seriously debated Iron Heading that slot. And now I'm upset that I didn't. I also was debating going for an Airstream into that slot, just so we would get the speed boost on the Conkeldurr. But I would rather... I think resetting the weather here is probably the best play. And like, we're going to do pretty significant damage to this Togekiss as well. And we're going to see the Dynamax from the Duraludon as well. Okay. So the real question is it Dynamax or Gigantamax? It is, in fact, the Gigantamax Duraludon, which I could not, for the life of you, tell you what its max move does. Reduces the PP of the last move used. Interesting. We just lived a max lightning from Duraludon. That wasn't something I anticipated happening today. So now we're going to go for a Steel Spike into the Togekiss. We're going to go for a Drain Punch into the Duraludon. So this is going to get to take out the Togekiss. We're going to get the defense boost on the Conkeldurr, which I think is actually the important part. And most likely Gyarados is going down here. Unfortunately, it's going down to Life Orb, which means whatever Duraludon is doing is going into Conkeldurr. But we do have the Assault Vest, so it hopefully won't hurt that bad. Oh, it's his Dragon move. I thought it was his Steel move that was his G-Max move. Just gonna yoink. Let's go back into Incineroar here. Most likely gonna bring out Tyranitar here. Probably not in the face of oh, they are just going to bring out Tyranitar in the face of Conkeldurr. Interesting. So now... Now we can go for a Fake Out into the Tyranitar, and go for a Drain Punch into it, and just get back all of our amazing, wonderful HP that we need. Because, like, this Duraludon doesn't threaten either of our Pokemon. So So we are going to get that fake out. That tells me that the Tyranitar does not have... it doesn't have Protect, because I think the double up into it is pretty obvious this turn. Thank you. Just completely negated our opponent's attack this turn. So now their Dynamax is over. What do they have in the back? Because it is currently a 3v2, and Conkeldurr is facing down the world. That's what it feels like. I'm gonna send out Excadrill. Well, that just is some yummy food for Excadrill as well. I can't believe I just said that. That's I'm gonna go for a parting shot into Duraludon. I could just Mach Punch. Yeah, we're gonna Mach Punch. There's a chance that the Incineroar... there's a chance that the Conkeldurr goes down this turn. So I think just getting off a lot of damage here is really good for us. Oh yeah, we should be fine. That was a crit on the Conk. Oh, that's unfortunate. That flinch is really bad for us. So now I'm just going to Flare Blitz the Duraludon, and we'll Mach Punch down the Excadrill. And that will take care of it. Alright, we're going to see the Protect from the Excadrill, which is no big deal. This Flash Cannon should be enough to take us out. Yep, okay. So I was going to say, between Flash Cannon and the Sand, we should get taken out here. But luckily, Flare Blitz is going to do pretty decent damage, all things considered. Not enough to take us to Berry, which is fine. And now we just get to bring out Lapras, and Lapras just looks at both of these and like, sup. I really wish we had Protect on Incineroar right now. So they're probably going to Rock Slide. Going to high horsepower into the Incineroar. That's even worse for us. That's kind of bad for us. Gonna get a Thunderbolt off. That is gonna trigger our policy and not be enough to take us out. So the question is Rock Slide gonna be enough to take us out? Because this Freeze Dry should take out the Duraludon at +2. I can't imagine it doesn't. Alright, cool. So it comes down to, does Excadrill OHKO us? Does Excadrill deal 50% to us with Rock Slide? We're gonna Freeze Dry because Hydro Pump can miss. Please don't flinch. Please don't kill. Please don't flinch. Hooray! This is sweet. This game is so fun. It came down to Rock Slide hitting, not dealing enough damage, and not flinching us. I think it was probably correct to switch out Conkeldurr the turn we got knocked out. I think there was a chance that, like, I anticipated the Duraludon to double up into us, to the Duraludon to go into the Conkeldurr that turn. So had they gone for another Thunderbolt, we could have triggered our policy on the Lapras that turn. So policy Tyranitar, we just didn't get to see the same just because it came out and got beat up. Itemless Excadrill. This is the new meta, people. Itemless Excadrill. G-Max Duraludon. Okay, it was Draco Meteor. Hyper Beam is some sweet tech on Duraludon though. Like, that is some sweet tech that like I can fully get behind. Being able to have Max Strike on your Duraludon seems really, really good. Oh, it's also Light Metal. That's awkward. Come on, man. Get your hidden ability capsules already. Also, notably, it was defensively suited. So, like, man. Citrus Berry on... Interesting. No Parting Shot. Scope Kiss. Hustle. Scope Kiss. Man, you need some capsules, it looks like. I didn't realize Dragapult got U-turn. That's interesting. Okay. Pretty interesting team from our opponent. So, yeah, we'll keep playing. This team has been really, really sweet. Yeah, this team has been really, really good for us, so. Alright, we got Togekiss, Whimsicott, Rillaboom, Lapras, Cinderace, Duraludon. Man, that's an angry rabbit. They can just lead Togekiss, Cinderace, and I feel like we just get beat up. Actually, what happens if we lead Meowstic, Lapras? It seems really, really weak to Cinderace. So let's lead Meowstic, Gyarados. And then Incineroar and Lapras. This leaves us kind of weak to the Rillaboom. So we might get to see another skill swap here, but onto the Cinderace if they have it here. Opponent's gonna lead Lapras, Whimsicott. Interesting. Okay. Well, Gyarados is getting out of here because he doesn't particularly like looking at a Lapras on the other side. So we're gonna go for a yawn into the Lapras. Man, that's really bad if they have Max Lightning. So let's set up Light Screen, and let's go into Lapras here. Unfortunately, our Lapras is Shell Armor, which is better in an Urshifu like a Urshifu format. But unfortunately, it is a little weaker when you're facing down bulky water types on the other side. Alright, going for Freeze Dry there tells me that they don't have an electric move, so I'm going to yawn that Lapras now. And let's Freeze Dry their Whimsicott. I don't think there's a strong reason to go into Dynamaxing here to get off the G-Max Resonance. I think the Freeze Dry should be enough to get this Whimsicott down to Sash. And I don't, based on what they have on the other side, I don't really see a reason to, Dynamax and set up screens, especially when we have Light Screen up already. So we are going to see the Gigantamax Lapras from our opponent. You're gonna see the taunt from... That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Man, taunt is just something that has kind of fallen off of favor from Whimsicott here lately, so unfortunately they are gonna get us, which is it's kind of bad. But Freeze Dry should do pretty decent damage even through the screens. About half. So we're gonna pick up another KO this turn. So let's switch into Gyarados here. And let's Freeze Dry down the Whimsicott and pick up the KO there. I'm expecting a Max Geyser into that slot. And with the Max Geyser coming into that slot, I would rather Gyarados take it than Incineroar. I'm gonna see the Dazzling Gleam. Gonna do okay damage all around. We do see that Max Geyser, presumably into the Gyarados, who takes it like a champ, because he is a champ. And this Freeze Dry should be enough to pick up the KO on the Whimsicott. Barring some weird low roll. Cool. So what does our opponent have in the back? Sending out the Rillaboom. Monkey. So I'm going to click Protect, and I'm going to Dynamax and go for a Max Resonance into the Rillaboom. If they go for a Grassy Glide into the Lapras, like, we're just set up, and if they fake out the Gyarados, then that's just fine. Like, we just get to Protect off, and everything's as good as can be. You're going to see that Protect from the Gyarados. And what does the Rillaboom do? That's the important question here. Yes! Exactly what we wanted. Thank you, Mr. Rillaboom. Yeah, this is fine. You did a whole, like, 15 damage there. Now let's get our screens up. Monkey. So notably, their Gigantamax turns are over. Their Dynamax turns are over. We have a Lapras at +2. A Gyarados that is just chilling. And their Tailwind is up. So I feel like we're in a pretty decent position now. Gonna have the Cinderace in the last slot. Okay. Really interesting. Let's go into Incineroar here. Actually, no. Let's go into Meowstic here. Let's go for a Max Lightning into the Lapras. This should do pretty significant damage even through the Veil. You're gonna see the high jump kick. I'm assuming this is into the Lapras, but we avoid it and Cinderace is going down. That's great. No! No, that's so bad for us. That's so bad for us. I didn't even know, I legitimately didn't even know Freeze Dry had a chance to freeze. We're gonna try to skill swap the Cinderace, and we're gonna Max Guard this turn. Because if the Cinderace goes for another high jump kick, then like I feel like we're in a pretty decent position. Gonna protect from the Lapras. Okay. We're gonna get our max guard. Meowstic is frozen. This is great. This is great. And Meowstic's over here just like, kill me, please. Maybe they miss a third time. Alright, high jump kick is going to connect this time. Lapras is unfortunately going to go down. But more importantly, the Cinderace is also going down. You're going to see the Hydro Pump into the Meowstic, which is also going to go down. Rain is done. And we get to bring out Gyarados plus Incineroar here. Anticipating a Protect. So we're going to go for... If we go for a Fake Out plus Bounce, I think is our best line here. Because if they protect from the Fake Out, then they're not protecting from the Bounce. And if they do protect, oh, yeah, then this is just fine. Like, we get chip damage, and that means they're going to protect next turn. And their Aurora Veil wore off. That's really good for us. Now we'll just click this Flare Blitz. They'll protect this turn. And then next turn, like, their out here is to hit Protect for the rest of the game. And that's unfortunately not going to happen. So now we'll Flare Blitz, and we'll Iron Head. How much is this gonna do? Enough for the KO. Cool. So, this team was really, really awesome. I'm really glad I actually ended up playing this. I legitimately think this is one of the better teams I have played in quite a while, if you want me to be 100% honest. And I'm really glad I got to showcase everything that this team can do right off the bat for Littleroot laddering. If you haven't done so already, let's break down the team one more time before we call it a day. I wanna check this team. So, Conkeldurr was really impressive in the games that it actually got to do its thing. Lapras was just amazing. So many times Lapras was so good for us. I don't think we ran into Urshifu at all, but like having the shell armor for Urshifu is really awesome for Lapras, especially like if it is the Dark Urshifu, then like Wicked Blow just doesn't do anything to us, and that's awesome. Incineroar, like the core of the team of Incineroar, Luxray, Meowstic is just fantastic, and it really is. Like Luxray single-handedly like carried us through the match last video against Trick Room, which if you haven't watched, I highly recommend. That match was insane. And like Gyarados was a very good addition to this team. My one suggestion is to probably make Gyarados Intimidate. Make him Moxie, just because we already have the Intimidate core with Incineroar, Luxray, Meowstic, and I feel like in some iteration we're always bringing some part of that, even if it's just Incineroar or just Luxray to deal with their special attackers. Like, I feel like we're always bringing at least one of them. So making it where that the Gyarados doesn't need the Intimidate. So if we have the Moxie, we actually get to set up and sweep with Gyarados more frequently. Skill swap on the Meowstic was really good. I think over the set of the 10 games that we played, we got to skill swap once or twice. It would have been really critical against Cinderace this last game had we not been frozen as well. We could have taken its Libero, given it Prankster, and then it's stuck as whatever. Luckily that Cinderace went down to itself, so we didn't really have to worry about it. But having skill swap against Cinderace leads is really, really impressive. We never came across it in the 3 videos we've played with this team, but having access to just say, hey, you're stuck as a fire type in front of my Lapras when you're trying to go for a high jump kick into it, or max knuckle or whatever, cool, now Lapras or Gyarados just gets to deal with you where you thought you were getting an easy KO. So really, really impressed with this team. I am going to leave the rental code down in the show notes as always. Make sure you go and play with this team. It's so fun. This team is so fun. Highly, highly recommend going to play with it. So, Slacking, thank you very, very much for showing this. I'm really glad we got to show the team some justice. And until next time, everybody, have a good one. Peace.